Thanks so much, everyone. We're just going to give it 1 to 2 minutes before we get started here today.
So a few more seconds to make sure give everyone a chance to enter in, and then we'll get going. Okay, well, welcome everybody. My name is Chris LeClaire. I am the head of sales here at NFI Solutions. I'm very aware, we're all very aware that your time is super valuable, so we really appreciate you taking some time today. The hope of these webinars is to give you something that you can really apply to your practice, apply to your day-to-day life, and help more clients and help yourself grow your business. So hopefully we're able to accomplish that and give you a few things you can take away from this webinar. I'm really happy today to have Todd Shermer from American Home Care Services join us today. Todd's a veteran of the senior market, spent over 3 decades working with long-term care, Medicare, life insurance, annuities. Todd joined American Home Care Services in 2019 and began in his current role as a COO back in 2020. And I think this topic today is just super timely. It's a topic that I personally think a lot about. I think it's something that affects a lot of our lives and more of our lives every day. A couple things to throw at everyone to think about as Todd runs through his presentation. There's 10,000 Americans roughly every day turning 65. So there is a growing pool of people who are more and more asking the question of, how am I going to pay for long-term care if I need it? And most will. About 70% of Americans will need some kind of long-term care during their lives, right? So, and that doesn't necessarily mean in a nursing home. That means all kinds of different care, a lot of it which is provided in their own homes. But for folks that do need nursing home care, it can cost upwards of $8,000 a month. So it is a very costly endeavor. And, I've been in this business a while myself and looked at traditional long-term care for over the years, and those policies have great coverage, can be great when they make sense, but they also can be very expensive, and there can definitely be issues with the clients in terms of getting through underwriting. So I think this topic and having American Home Care Services today is super timely. They have a really unique solution, really effective way for help your clients pay for the long-term care needs. I think, hopefully over the next 45 minutes or so, we'll be able to give you some insights into, how to leverage their services and how to bring a new and different approach to this to your clients. I think as you listen to Todd talk, I guess I challenge everybody, jot down a few names of clients or prospects that you think might fit this bill. I mean, it really is a lot of people. Anyone, as they're getting into their 50s, for sure in their 60s, they're thinking about more and more, what are they going to do for their long-term care coverage? And this is a great way to bring them a solution that a lot of them are looking for. So jot some names down. Definitely follow up with us here at NFI. We can loop in Todd as to how can we, go about helping those clients and helping you help those clients. So please, be thinking about, those folks that you can take this solution to. And if you do have any questions, definitely put them in the chat. We'll do our best to get to questions throughout the presentation. So please do ask questions. If we don't get to questions, we will definitely make a point to follow up with you so we can get all questions answered, whether it's during the call or in a follow-up call. So I guess with that, Todd, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you. I appreciate the intro. And hello, everybody. I hope everybody's off to a good day already. And hopefully we can make it a little bit better for you with a little bit of an opportunity for you to bring another product into your menu of products that you currently have. One of the things that I think is important to know is I was on your side, and I was out there, and so was John, who is the CEO of the company. We were on the other side of the table for most of our lives. We were out there back in the day. I mean, geez, it was cold call. I mean, so it was hardcore stuff back then. And I'll tell you, when we first started doing long-term care, which was many years ago, we would knock on doors, and we had leads that we would run, and someone's probably already run 25 times before us, and we'd get to the door, we'd knock on the door. occasionally, people would actually let us in and get down, would do a presentation, and would hear stupid comments. And it would be that I don't want to go into a nursing home, so I'm not going to buy a nursing home plan, or I don't want to ever have home health care because I don't want anybody in my home. And it was just back in those days, the lack of education in the product, in the actual services, and the way that America was going to change for home care, for senior services, was just unbelievably it was at its infancy. I think that's probably a decent way to say it. They just didn't really understand what it really was, and long-term care was not a common word back in those days. And so, as it evolved, long-term care went from being something that was really nursing home, addressing nursing home cost. It really wasn't even addressing nursing home care. It was really, hey, how do you go into a nursing home and never become to a point where you're broke? You took all the money that you saved on your entire life and you lost all of it, and you end up on Medicaid. And so that was really the focus. And then it became, hey, what if we had a comprehensive program, and it was assisted living and nursing home and maybe a little home health care? And as times continued to go, then all of a sudden it was, hey, we could have standalone home health care plans, because that's what the market / clientele patients have been saying for all these years, is if they had a choice, they'd rather stay at home. Once that market matured and they understood really what it was, it became more obvious that, and more apparent, that the clientele out there, which would in this case be the patient, it really wanted home health care. And so then it became a really common thing for people to talk about. And then we ran into the common problem of decline. You go out there, you go through the steps. However you got that lead in the first place, you called, you knocked on the door, whatever it was, you got that person to talk with you. You went through an hour and a half presentation. You wrote the application. You said, okay, good, I made a nice commission today. And then you find out a month later that it got declined and you're back to zero. Those are not fun moments. We know, because we've been there, we've done it. So what we did on our side is we created a better system, what we call like a newer, smarter, better system. And it was, let's take what we like about home health care, and that's helping people, with payments, and make sure they don't go broke, and have good quality licensed home health care agencies come into the home and take care of them. That's all good part of it. What was bad was the underwriting process, because they looked, instead of towards you and your client, instead of looking towards you as, how do we get this person approved, it was, how do we decline this? They were always looking for how to decline, rather than how to actually submit and approve. So what we did is we came in and said, what if we got rid of the madness of the underwriting process that limits the age, it limits the ability and the mobility of the client to be able to get a plan in the first place? And if we did that, then maybe we could go, instead of being a traditional style, we could do a member style. And if we could do a member style, then age would no longer matter. And so that's what we did. We brought it in a better system, and a person that's 75 pays the same amount of money as a person that's 95. And it's not based on age. It's also not based on if a person has a wheelchair or a walker or a cane, or maybe they were in the hospital for something 6 months ago and they came out and they're better. Well, we don't care if they were in the hospital 6 months ago. We only care if they're in the hospital at this moment. So these are the ways that we came into the picture and said, let's change it. Let's make it easier. Let's make it better. And I think we have. If we could actually just take a moment here, I'm going to give you a short slide presentation. It's just real short. It's nothing major. I just want to show you that this would be provided for you. So if you want to have this for yourself, this slide will be available to you. I'm not going to go into like reading detail to detail in it, but I'm going to give you an idea of, hey, this will be available. After the slide presentation, I'm then going to go turn around and give you a video. And the video is a presentation which we actually, it's our seminar that we actually do, and we had it professionally done. So this was recorded professionally. John and I had taken the time to write and script it all out. So if you get in a situation where you're doing a talk and you're thinking, I don't really like to do talks, or I'm not perhaps very comfortable doing talks, then what we would do is would say, just play the video. We designed it to do that. So the video will be available to you as well. So again, if the first, and if Emmy, if you could just go ahead and just kind of share the short presentation on the PowerPoint, and we can kind of talk from there if you can. Okay, so this is our office out in St. Petersburg, and as you can see, the company was established back in 2012 by actually a friend of ours, Mike. Mike was he was in the business for years and years and years, and I mean, like a dinosaur kind of time. Back in the day when things were a lot different. Anyhow, Mike was the guy that originally came up with the idea, and John had been working with him as his right-hand man. And when Mike passed away, and prior to Mike passing away, Mike asked John if he would take over the company, and he did. John and I have known each other now for about 20 plus years, might even be longer than that. And John had asked me to come into the picture. I had in the past run a pretty decent sized company. We had about 770 people working for us. So it was a decent sized company that was in the financial / insurance business, and the Medicare, the Medicare, and the long-term care, and then from the financial side, the annuities, life, and we also had a brokerage firm at the same time. So so we knew each other for a long time. He asked me to come in, and I said yes, let's make this happen, and it's been really enjoyable ever since. But we are based out of St. Petersburg, Florida. And next slide. And then our plan. I mean, what we did is, again, I kind of explained it a second ago, but what we really wanted to do, and kind of in the middle of it, it says we wanted to get away from traditional underwriting that got away from the age and the health and the mobility and the medications and the pre-existing condition. Instead, our goal was actually to create a membership, and that a membership's a lot easier for people to not only become approved, it's just a much easier process for you to write, because when you're in front of the client, there's only 2 questions on that application that if they're answered yes, then we can't issue it. And that's, are you currently under care? Well, if you're currently under care, we can't write it. And the other one is, do you have any type of Alzheimer's, or have you been diagnosed with a chronic illness? And and that's a yes, and then we can't write it. Everything else we'll take. And so it makes life for you a lot easier, because if they say no to that and no to the next one, you're going to get paid. Next slide. And what are the chances? And I think Chris had mentioned it beforehand, some of the statistics out there. And again, I won't go over all the statistics for you here. You can see it yourself, but you can indeed see that as you get older, the chances of utilizing it are of course much, much greater. And you hit north of 80, and the chances are pretty darn good. And just on a side note, I just want to say also, and this is me personally, when it comes to money and when it comes to care, I had injured myself pretty severely back in January, and I had tore my left pec in half, and I tore the tendons off the bone. So they literally had to stitch me back together and then patch me and then put post in my shoulder and bring everything over. Apparently you're not supposed to be lifting that much weight when you're my age. So with that said, I couldn't do a dang thing for a couple of weeks. And if I didn't have someone that was able to stay with me and luckily she works with me. And so she was able to stay with me 24/7. If I didn't have that opportunity, that would have run between about $6,000 to $8,000 just for the couple of weeks that I was receiving care, because it was around the clock. So just wanted to kind of throw that one out there, kind of to give you an idea of, and it doesn't have to be a person 80. I know we're talking about older people statistically, that hey, they're going to need it. More than likely, they're going to need it when they're past 80. But I'm a good example. I was 59 years old when that happened. So kind of give you an idea. Okay, and if we can go to the next slide, because right now I actually can't see the slide. I actually see a picture of my face.
All right. Give me just 1 second here. I'm going to stop sharing, and I'm going to reshare that screen so we can get the slide back up there.
I don't want to see my mug. And so, but as Emmy's doing that, I will tell you, if I didn't have the luxury of having someone there for me 24/7, I would not have been able to do without home health care. No possibility. I mean, I was to the point where I literally couldn't even take a shower by myself because I couldn't. It was just impossible. I was really drugged up pretty heavy for a few days as well. And that's the last thing you want to be doing, is trying to do everything by yourself under those conditions. And any luck with that coming back up? Oh yeah, sweet. Okay, good. All right, so we can go past that one. Maybe. Thank you. Next. Okay. And this one just gets back, to again, this is for you. So this is statistically, how long are people actually in home healthcare situations? What if they were just in a facility? And this takes everybody as an average. It doesn't take age into consideration as much as it does taking into an average. So next slide. And then same kind of thing here. It's important looking at the dollars, and it's very easy and to understand how quickly the cost can rise. But on average, and this again statistically is on average, some of it's going to be a lot more expensive than this. But it says here $52,000 on an annual long-term care cost for home health care, and as you can see, nursing homes closer to $90,000, or it is $90,000. And again, these are just averages. Some of the states, some of the cities are going to be a whole lot more than that. So next slide, please. And this is us. This is our unique little thing, comparing us with the no underwriting, the national network of home health care agencies that we have, the benefits that we provide to the family members, the licensed people that we work with. And here's something that's kind of unique. And I think it's probably one of the highlights that we have is that under the home health care benefit, we'll actually pay a family member. And that's something that's just pretty unique. Well, it's not pretty unique. It is unique. We're the only ones in the country that are doing that right now. So it's really something that they really like because it gives them a choice. Some people are saying, "Oh, I would never want my kids to be in here," and the other people are saying, "Hey, could I possibly have my daughter or my son do this?" So it's kind of nice that we did that. And then tested since our inception, we have paid all claims on time, 0 complaints. So we have an A+ rating. And if being in business long enough, sooner or later, it seems like you're going to have someone complaining. But so far, we have been blessed and we do not have any complaints. Next slide. Okay. And this is just a little stat for you as well. A lot of people think Medicare pays for home health care, and that's actually not true. That will pay for skilled nursing care where a nurse comes and checks on you for a very short period of time, as long as the doctor comes in and says, yes, we're going to write a script for that. And it's for a very short period of time that Medicare will cover it. Any type of custodial care, such as your everyday type of living. So that's why they call them ADLs, activity of daily living. Any of that is actually not covered, and that's what we need 90% of the day, 95% of the day, and that's where we come in with the plans. Next slide. Okay, and this is how easy it is. Choose the number of hours that you want. So instead of saying, "Hey, we're a home health care plan, we're going to pay $3,000 or $5,000 or $7,000 a month." No, we're going to do it differently. We're actually going to choose how many hours do you want? Do you want to be covered for 1,000 hours? Do you want to be covered for 5,000 hours? Do you want to be covered for 10,000 hours? And I will tell you that just looking at this, the average person will do right around 3,000 hours. That just seems to be pretty common. And that's a lot of hours when you break it down and you look at it and you say, okay, how many hours do I actually need in a day? Well, a lot of people, they'll just take maybe 2 or 3 hours a day, and maybe they'll do it every other day. That seems to be kind of a more typical type of a plan that we see out there. So those hours do last a very long time. If you use them 1 year, it doesn't go away. They just roll over to the next year. So in other words, you're not, if you've used out of your 3,000 hours, if you use 500 of them, then you don't have to worry about, that you just went through your entire plan. Okay, next slide. And that's it. That's a short little slide. And at the end, of course, what you could do is just put your name there. You can put obviously your phone numbers, your emails, and your website. And that's it. And then so what I'm going to do now, that was a nice little dog. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up Steve. And Steve is actually a gentleman that we hired to come in and actually do our presentation for us. That presentation was written by myself as well as John D'Angelo, who is the CEO. Who was the CEO of the company. And I'm going to have him go ahead and actually Steve, go ahead and do a presentation. He's not going to do a presentation. He's already done a presentation. Excuse me, that didn't sound right. But I'm going to go ahead and have Steve in the situation do the rest of it's about 14 minutes long, but this is for you. I want you to see how easy this presentation can be, how easy the message can be for you. And this will be available as one of your sales tools or / marketing tools. Okay. So if we can go ahead and play Steve.
Healthcare agencies within the comfort of our members' home. Home healthcare benefits are made available through member plans. Each member plan provides a set number of hours for our members to use towards home healthcare services. Member plans provide between 1,000 to 10,000 hours of care for pennies on the dollar. To be exact, our members pay as little as $1 an hour for what would cost on average $25 to $40 an hour, depending on the city and state of care. Because we're not an insurance company, but rather a service provider made possible through member plans, our members do not have to worry about being denied benefits or have their application declined. Our member plans are guaranteed to be approved regardless of age, health, pre-existing conditions, or any other ongoing health issues. In other words, every applicant is approved. For the convenience of our plan members, we provide 24/7 service. Additionally, our services are available to individuals or groups in all 50 states, as well as Canada. Statistically, 70% of all seniors over the age of 65 will experience the need for home health or nursing care. Have you given any thought to what you would do in case of sickness or accident? Would you go to a nursing home or stay in the comfort of your own home while receiving care? How would you pay for your care? Would you have to liquidate savings or ask family or friends to help pay your bills? Each year, about 3 million senior adults are treated in emergency rooms for a slip and fall injury. 1 out of every 5 falls causes an injury, such as broken bones or head injury. Many falls occur on the way to or from the bathroom. 67% of falls are caused by a slip or trip. And senior adults with hearing loss have 3 times the risk of an accidental fall. American Home Care Services provides professional pre-arranged care companion and homemaker services in the comfort of your own home. Staying at home is safe and familiar. Home care also allows for friends and family to stop by and visit anytime you choose, not just during visiting hours. American Home Care Services provides personalized care in the privacy of your own home, where you decide what and when you want to eat, sleep, bathe, dress, or simply take a walk around the house. Additionally, you decide if you prefer a licensed professional care provider, a friend, or a family member to take care of you. Ours is the only company in America that allows you, the member, to choose who provides care. Should you choose a licensed home health care agency, we'll make all the arrangements for your care and monitor the progress on an ongoing basis until your care plan is complete. We offer you peace of mind by knowing you have efficient, professional care with dignity. Our plans are paid-up plans, which means you own it. They are the only plans in America that are paid up. All other plans require ongoing membership costs or fees year after year with no end in sight. Each Elite plan can be customized to fit our members' lifestyle and needs. Our members receive unmatched professional care by licensed home health care professionals for pennies on the dollar. Although the average cost for home health care is $25 to $30 an hour, our Elite members pay as little as $1 an hour for the same coverage with the same agency. And they're simple to use. When care is needed, our members can simply call the customer care hotline 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. To access our coordinator care concierge service, our coordinators ease the stress and worries by taking the burden off our members' shoulders by coordinating care in the comfort of our members' home. We properly vet all of our licensed home health care professionals. While costs continue to go up around the country, our member plans stay the same. We built in an inflation rider within the member plan to help fight off escalating prices in health care. Although it'll cost American Home Care Services more money in the future for your care, your member plan premium does not increase. Once you fill out the application to become a member, your price is locked in and will not increase for life. For people with long-term care insurance, there's a good chance that you purchased it several years ago. More than likely, you purchased a plan that pays $100 to $150 per day for a period of 3 years. Generally, the dollar amount purchased was for nursing home care only. But for those individuals who purchased the home health care rider, it was typical to receive only half the dollar amount purchased for home health care services. According to a nationally recognized long-term care study in 2020, the monthly median cost for a nursing home with a private room was just over $8,000 a month. A semi-private room, just over $7,000 a month. In-home care homemaker services, about $4,500 a month. And for home health care aid, about $4,500 a month. Various factors impact how much a nursing home stay costs, including location, size, length of stay, and services offered. If your policy pays $100 per day or $3,000 per month, where does the other money come from? Would you drain your savings or cause a financial burden on your financial future? Would you need financial assistance from family or a friend? What if you did not have an insurance plan in place? How much of a burden would the cost of care be to you and your family? If you think Medicare will pay for it all, think again. Medicare provides only a limited number of hours and days of home health care. To qualify, care must be prescribed through your primary doctor. Medicare provides skilled care only and must be medically necessary. Skilled care does not provide what people need when it comes to daily living activities such as meal preparation, grocery shopping, assistance with hygiene, dressing, grooming, 24-hour care, transferring from room to room, travel to the doctor's office, medication reminders and assistance, health monitoring, toileting, help in and out of bed, and many more services that assist with the requirements of everyday living. The number one reason for bankruptcy in America is due to unexpected medical bills. American Home Care Service member plans are a wonderful way to fill the gap, so your savings or independence is not in danger. We're located throughout the USA and Canada, with thousands of home health care agencies available to us and our members regardless of where you live. We're proud to say in all the 9 years we've been in business, we have never had a single complaint and enjoy a AAA rating from the Better Business Bureau, with many testimonial letters of satisfaction and appreciation. In fact, you may have seen some of our television commercials.
When healthcare is necessary, American Home Care Services coordinates the care and payments needed to help stay in the comfort of your own home. Home health care protects your independence and dignity while providing a safe, familiar environment. Come join the thousands of members that have already discovered the benefits of a home health care service plan provided by American Home Care Services. Call today to receive your free pamphlet and discover how you can become protected too.
American Home Care Service member plans have no age limit, no health requirements, pre-existing conditions are covered, no deductibles, no claim forms, doctor approvals are not needed, no underwriting, guaranteed approval, instant approval, national coverage plus Canada, customized plans, wheelchairs, walkers, and canes are accepted. American Home Care Service member plans have always provided the comfort and confidence of knowing home care was only a phone call away. But now, through an affiliation with Amaze Health, our member plans have been elevated to a new level. Now members have an MD at their fingertips 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Think of it as your own personalized medical clinic at the touch of a button. You may access medical attention in 3 simple ways by using your phone or computer. 1, click on the icon on your phone or computer. 2, click on the video button on your phone or computer to start a Zoom call, video chat. Or 3, simply call the number listed on your membership ID card. Either way you choose, you'll be connected to a medical professional instantly. Save time and money. Our members don't have to wait for a doctor's appointment. They don't have to drive to the doctor, clinic, or hospital before being seen. A slip and fall no longer means going to the emergency room for hours to be diagnosed. Need a prescription filled, blood pressure monitored, or need to discuss some aches and pains? With our new ND Concierge services, our members are only one click away from receiving home health care or medical attention. American Home Care has created a more affordable and efficient way for our members to receive care. Come join the thousands of members that have discovered the benefits and comfort of owning an American Home Care Services membership plan. Enroll today and live your life worry-free, stress-free, and with peace of mind knowing your independence, dignity, and freedom of choice is protected. Call a customer care representative to help you get started now. Call toll-free 877-495-4847. Make the call now.
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Emmy, can you hear me okay?
Yes, indeed.
Okay, I just want to make sure after the video I was still coming in as a feed. Again, this is for anybody that's with NFI. This is a benefit for you, and it's really nice to know that you've got a company out there that if you're out there writing our business, you're out there trying to do the right thing for your client and make yourself some money at the same time. That we're on your side because we understand your side. We've already been out there. We've already knocked on the doors. We've already and we've been turned down, and we know what it's like. So you have a company that understands that and is on your side. We've created ads, brochures, email blasts, commercials, as you saw in the video there. Obviously, we have seminars. We have seminars that are scripted out that Steve just did. If you don't have a screen, then fine. We'll just go ahead and give you the script. If you do have a screen, then you can use the video that you just saw there with Steve. And the very end, of course, instead of them utilizing the phone number that you saw at the end, of course, you would just give them yours. And the handout material, of course, would have your name and your phone numbers in there as well. So all that's great. It will help you a great deal. And one thing I think might be important for you to understand is how you get paid. So with our system, we do everything for $1 an hour. So think about this. If you write 1,000 hours and it's $1 an hour, that means the plan costs $1,000. If you write 5,000 hour and it's $1 an hour, then that means the plan costs $5,000 and so on. You receive 35% of the commission of that immediately upon approval. And which is field underwriting. So as soon as we get the paperwork in and we're able to put our package out to the clientele, which is generally about a few days. So you're able to make the 35% of the gross amount that is collected. And then we also put together a 5% deferred comp program for you as well that is vested out. And the reason we do that, again, we come from the industry. We know darn well that there's highs and lows in this business. And when you're doing well, it's easy to spend money. And when you're not doing well, you wish you would have saved some money. So what we're kind of doing here is we're giving you an opportunity to have, instead of the golden watch when you retire, we're giving you an opportunity to have a retirement account. So a deferred comp program, we're putting 5% of all the gross sales to the side for you. And it builds up. It builds up nicely. And each year it's going to build up even nicer and nicer. And when someday you say, hey, this is it, you walk away and it's your money. So it's a nice little thing. But in addition to, and this is really important, this is where you can actually make a lot of money with this. We pay renewals, and the renewals are on an annual basis as long as that plan is in effect. we're paying you a renewal. I don't care if it's 10 years, we're paying you a renewal. And that renewal is the highest in the industry at 15%. So 15% of the gross collected amount of each and every year. And so the beautiful thing about that is mathematics. The first year you go out there and you write, I don't know, just say there's 10. Let's do easy math. Let's say you did 10, right? And the next year you did 10, and the next year you did 10. Well, rolling into that fourth year, you already have 30 people paying on a renewal before you even got out of bed. And so those are the kind of things where you can make some real money. And so with us, again, understanding the industry, understanding the needs and wants and of everything across the board, we try to make it as easy for you to write, but we also made it where it's extremely a reward driven type of a program. So with that said, that's really the presentation for today. If anybody has any comments or questions or anything like that, if I don't know if we can do a Q&A question.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Todd, we do. We've got a few questions.
Okay.
One question came in just kind of is, do you have a material, and not necessarily that we have to even show it today, but something that we can make sure is available, but something that kind of speaks to sort of the financial strength in terms of, just to kind of alleviate any person's, whether it's the agent or the client's concerns about the company's ability to pay future claims, anything that helps to kind of tell that story?
Yeah, we do. One of the things that we've done from inception of the company, and I should say from I wasn't there from inception, but from the inception of the company, and even more so once I actually came on board with John, is when you look at a claim ratio, you have to see what statistically is that claim ratio on an annual basis, and then what it as an average. And on an average over the entire period of time, we've never, at any given year, by the way, have never been higher than a 5% claim ratio. And if you average all those together, we're well under 5%. Yet we have always made sure that we collected a minimum of 10% for reserve account. So the reserve account is not part of our everyday accounting and operating account. It's a separate account that is put to the side, that is not touched or can't be touched, if you will, unless it's for claims.
Got it. Okay, well, that's great. And for anyone that want, we can, help kind of frame up that story more for whether it's for you, an agent, or obviously for your client if they're asking. So,
yeah.
But thanks, Todd. That helps for sure. And then just out of a quick clarifying question, what kind of license is required to sell this?
The beautiful part about it is there is not a license. We're legal in all 50 states, as well as Canada, and you don't have to have a license to do this because it does not fall under the insurance, and it doesn't fall under the FINRA.
Okay, awesome. Another quick question, which I think is a good one, is can policyholders change their coverage year to year?
They can. If for some reason they came in and they want to put their toe in the water and they're like, maybe I'll just get 1,000 hours in the beginning and see how this kind of goes. And next year comes along and I think, you know what, I really kind of think I should have had maybe a couple thousand more. They're able to do that.
Yeah, awesome.
They can also go down. So if all of a sudden they had some financial issues, and this has happened in the past where some people went in with about 5,000 hours and they said, I'm really struggling. I'm not doing as well as I was beforehand for whatever given reason. We don't ask the deep questions, but we just said, okay, well, how can we help you? Would you like to, reduce to 3,000 or 2,000 or 2,500? What would you like to do? And that's what we found. They didn't want to go away. They didn't want to give the plan up. They just wanted to make it fit for their financial situation.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, thank you. One more I think is a good one is the premium monthly, and then and I think it's also getting at, does this coordinate with Medicare benefits?
Okay, 100% you can do monthly, but not in the first year. The first year you have to either do semi-annual or annual, and there isn't one pay option on this stuff as well. The second year, however, you can go ahead and do a monthly, and it could just be a draft.
Yeah.
And it was another part of that. Does it work with Medicare? Yes, it works perfectly with Medicare because the skilled care comes in and we can coordinate the home health care nurse right around her. And I shouldn't say her. There's a lot of guys out there that are nurses, and so whatever the nurse it comes in from Medicare, we can coordinate either nurse with them.
Great. And then this I've got a question for myself, but there's a question here that says, does coverage provide doctor services like normal insurance? Which made me, I was thinking as you were talking, can you talk a little bit about like how someone, I mean, I'm guessing people are kind of layering coverage in a way, right? Where they might have traditional long-term care coverage, but may not be enough. And then they can layer your coverage on top of that.
Yeah. So with this, you really want to think of our plan of more of being the ADL plan, the activities to daily living. We have with Amaze, we have partnered with Amaze and allowed us to be able to bring doctors in as a teledoc. And I will tell you right now, I use that and I love it. I absolutely, my daughter uses it. I use it. Pretty much everybody in my family uses it. It's wonderful. Instead of going into your traditional doctor and waiting maybe 2 or 3 weeks to get in there, or going into an urgent care, which nowadays is quite, you go to an urgent care, you don't know what other germs you're picking up while you're in there. You can stay right from your own house, right? You could be your car. You just get them on the phone. You can either do a video call or you could just do a normal phone call. Let them know what your symptoms are. They'll ask you some questions because they're medical professionals. They'll ask you the different questions, and then they'll say, okay, well, it sounds like we're going to be dealing with this. I'm going to send you in a script for this, and this, or whatever it is. And you're back on the mend in a pretty short period of time. It's really wonderful. If you have an issue like, let's say something's on your skin and it looks like it's like it's getting red, or is this infected, or what's going on, then you just do a video call, and they can see exactly what's going on, and they are able to take care of it. I've had things from, that's why I could tell you, I had a rash on my shoulder. I didn't know what the heck it was. Apparently I got bitten. So, and then I've had all kinds of different colds like anybody else, with the COVID being out there and everything else. And they've just been wonderful. So they are such a wonderful complement for us. Now there is an extra charge for that service. You don't have to include it with our services, but I highly recommend that you do. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, at this stage, I think our rate is at $35 a month. Super cheap. It's ridiculously cheap.
Yeah, awesome. Well, then that's, just thinking, I think it's important for agents on the call to know, if you have clients that obviously have nothing really lined up, this is a great conversation started to talk to them about, how we can help them, and that this is, there really is a ton that can be done to help them, from American Home Services. But also, if they have current coverage, that doesn't necessarily mean there's nothing more to talk about, right? There's still a lot of times.
Oh, right.
Yeah, there's a lot. So don't let someone, I think, I'm just thinking through talking to a client that says, oh, I'm good. I've got a long-term care policy. Well, it definitely is worth looking at that to see what does that policy really cover, right? Is there stuff that's not covered that your services would be able to fill in those gaps?
Yeah, and many times you'll find that their plan is something like we discussed in the video. It might only be $100 a day. And I can tell you, back in the day, that was what we pushed. It was $100 a day for a 2-year plan, and that was our thing, and that's what we pushed. Well, now it's $8,000 or $9,000 for that same care. So now we have a deficit of $6,000. That's what you could be doing is literally going down and say, okay, well, let's just take a look at your coverage. And do you have enough? How many years has it been since you've actually looked at that and analyzed it? And you may also find that the people might just have a long-term care as in nursing care, and they don't have home health care, but they would really prefer to have home health care. So yeah, don't let it discourage you. I welcome when we used to do this in the financial business, is like, why don't we just do a financial review? We'll look at what you have, we'll put a recommendation next to it, and let's see what you like. And that's financially, that's what we used to do, and this is the same thing here.
Yeah, no, I love it. So I think maybe I've got one more question that was kind of a probably fairly quick answer is, how do you view network providers?
For us, it doesn't really make any darn difference. It doesn't, because for us, I'm not going to say the afterthought. We're after the medical is out of the way, and it's been dealt with, or it is being dealt with. And then the home health care from our side usually is when it starts stepping in from that point.
Yeah. Okay, great. Well, thanks so much, Todd. I really appreciate you joining us today. I had lots of great stuff. I mean, I think just a couple things I was jotting down, just, takeaways for me and hopefully for the agents here on the call. This is a really affordable option. Their plans are really easy to understand, easy to explain, easy to use.
Yeah.
I think from, the teledoc thing, I love that. I think obviously kind of post-COVID, I think a lot of us have kind of leveraged those types of services and see the benefit there.
Yes.
And then from a sales support side, for all the agents, call us here at NFI, have a conversation with us, then and we can tap in to Todd and his team. I mean, he mentioned earlier, but there's a ton of great resources in terms of sales support, in terms of, leveraging seminars, pre-built seminars, the videos, the brochures where you can really kind of brand it yours, put your name and information on it. Lots of stuff that I think they're doing to help you bring this story out to people. And really, this came up multiple times throughout this conversation that, there are just so many people out there that have needs that we can help fill. And I think ultimately that's really what we're all about, I think, in this business. And, the more clients we can help, obviously we can help ourselves as well too. And that's always a good thing. Yeah. So with that, any closing comments from you, Todd?
Yeah, well, I would say one thing. Again, being in the business as many years as I had been, and being on both sides, I would say this: anytime you have a product, you want to go ahead and tell all of your people about it. That's number one. That's like, hey, we have something new. I think it's exciting. I think we should share it with you. And that's that. But it's also, you look at what is the cream on the top. What are my clients that not only would be a person that I would like to talk to, but would really benefit a great deal from this right now? Can I think of 5, 6, 7, 10 different clients that would really benefit from it? But then go back in the memory bank and think about who got turned down. Do I have a person that was turned down because they had a walker or a wheelchair, or they came out of the hospital, or they had high blood pressure, or who got turned down? Because now I could resubmit them.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Fantastic closing thoughts. And I think, for everyone on the call, I mentioned it in the opening comments, think of clients that can leverage this product. And Todd just talked about a few different ways that you can tap into existing clients or prospects. I think that the comment he made about make sure everybody knows this. You never know who might need this, or who might know someone that, might need be someone that could be a current client's mom and dad that needs it. So,
Sure.
So there's all kinds of reasons to bring this up. Again, it's a really pressing, kind of relevant topic, I think, for most Americans, especially folks, I think anyone, 50 and over, for sure, it's a conversation to have. So again, right. Thanks so much, Todd. Really appreciate your time here. Please call us, at NFI. We're always happy to help in any way we can to help you grow your business, help your clients. And again, I think hopefully you took away some nuggets today from this call where you feel like you maybe have some tools now that you didn't have before. So please call us. The number was on the screen there, but 952-887-1239. Again, it's 952-887-1239. We really appreciate everybody's time. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.